All right, what's up? Welcome to the Gossip Intellectual Podcast with comedian Royce with me. That's me. We talk about sports, entertainment, politics. Happy to be here. We're doing it Thursday afternoon because I'm scheduled to work Friday. But we're gonna have fun, and you guys will get the updates. So excited to be here, do a podcast, man. It's getting a little burnt out. I was like, I don't know if I could do twice a week. I was like, I gotta relax. It's summertime. Let me get some sun and take it in, and we'll be back Thursday, and you guys we'll be able to listen to the podcast on Friday or Thursday. This will be up Thursday afternoon or evening. Yeah, Thursday evening, afternoon. All right. Anyway, how are you? Good. Hope you're enjoying the weather. Summer is here. There's craziness. There's chaos. But that doesn't have to be with you and yourself. You know, the chaos is all on the outside. I just found a new meditation on my app. I've been listening to this app for a while, and I keep finding new stuff. So that's fun as I grow and look for different ways to find peace. So like I said, always excited to be here, do a podcast. Huge privilege. Anything in entertainment, to have fun for a living or half a living is just a huge privilege, man. And I was just thinking about that, and you know, I think like a lot of influencers and celebrities are always talking about like, I don't pay attention to my haters, and I don't know, it's always some post about forget the haters. It's like, I try not to think about my haters at all. Whenever I think about my haters, or I work to get back at my haters, it doesn't go the best. I'm usually a little bit more rigid, a little bit more uptight. Whenever I'm just in the moment having fun and just trying to be the best version of myself is when I'm usually at my best. When I'm just kind of stuck in the moment. Had a deja vu a couple nights ago on stage. I was like, wow. It was like really hot, heavy too. I was like, I've definitely seen myself in this moment before. So I don't know. They say that means that you're on the right path and you've kind of been there before. Who knows? But I was having fun in that moment, and I saw that. So just, you know, I always try to acknowledge that. I mean, I've got things going on outside of this that you know, difficult things to deal with. Not the worst. You know, normal things people deal with, financial things, and some family stuff. But overall, still pretty blessed. So, you know, the older you get, the more humble you get, the more you appreciate all that you have. When you've been through some things, right? Yeah, your level for happiness is lower. You're like, I don't need all of that. I just want to have a good time and be loved and be around good people. And I am a foodie. Have some good food, you know, relax a little bit. So yeah, I was just thinking about that because I was just watching DeMarcus Cousins, and it's like, man, this guy's played 11 years in the NBA. He's now playing professionally. There has been some talk about him trying to get back in the league, and you know how he was felt like he was wronged for not being in the league. But then, you know, you're in Puerto Rico and showing why you're not in the league. You're attacking fans or responding to fans, and you know, I just did a TikTok about it. It's like, at this point in your career, you should not be going back and forth with fans. And you know the rules and everything. Like, you definitely know better. You're not a kid playing AAU, 17, 16 years old. anymore. So wishing that guy healing. He needs some healing, some meditation. Go on a meditation retreat, and do your job. You got a chance to take care of your family, and I'm pretty sure there's less 6'8" people. Yeah, there's not a lot of 6'8" people running around. So you were blessed to be 6'8" with athletic ability and agility, and you're wasting it, man. All right. So yeah, just speaking of that, we lost Ananda Lewis. Just one of the original, just socially aware baddies, HBCU baddies. But I don't want to say she was baddie. Takes away from all that she was. She was a very talented host, but when she came out, I was a kid, so she was one of my first crushes. But lost her to breast cancer, 52 years old. And they were saying on the Breakfast Club today, she did admit that she didn't go about the process in the best way. She tried to do kind of like natural healing at first, and maybe if she would have got to the treatments earlier. But either way, man, I was just thinking about that. I was like, the fact that we still have cancer in our society, and were you losing somebody like that? That was just such a light and encouragement. I was looking at some of the things she said, even like her last video just was so encouraging, and just made me feel better and healed. And she was one of those people, if you watch her interviews or just you watch her, you just feel safe. You feel safe and comfortable. And she just had that thing. She was gifted in that way. And they were saying, and which I agree with, is that if she would have been around today with social media, she would have been a huge star. So yeah, man, breast cancer did run in her family, and it just made me think overall how messed up society is, and the healthcare, and the people at the top would rather us have a sick society than a healthy society, whether it's mentally or bodily, and it's just really, really unfortunate that we lost somebody like that was given so much. But go look her up, Ananda Lewis, ANANDALEWIS. And people were just sharing her videos, and she interviewed a bunch of celebrities back in the day, originally on MTV. But yeah, just had a very, despite dying of sickness, healing energy. And it's just unfortunate. So, I know it's hard sometimes, but don't take your days for granted. And I always say, just enjoy what you have. Enjoy the little things. I think, something like that, when you're probably thinking about your last days, I think you're thinking about the little things. You're not thinking about your career. You're thinking about, the time you were laughing, the time you were doing a podcast, just hanging out with friends or family or coworkers or loved ones. I think those are the moments that probably run across your brain. But so fearless in her last days. I always love people like that just, in those moments, you can always be like, why me? And this is unfair. But she chose to spread awareness and healing and happiness. And I really respect that. I do not like talking about death and thinking about it. And she gave me some peace around it. So shout out to Ananda Lewis. Oh, yeah, so I forgot to tell you about how my morning went. So got my coffee, right? And, I had the frozen hash browns. And and the chicken sausage in the right in the freezer. That's usually my breakfast. And now I'm trying to add some fruits. I was like, you can't have all this fried heavy stuff on your stomach all day long. So air fryer is life, right? Spoiled millennial, air fryer is life. And I don't know why I tried to get the chicken sausage with a spatula. I had just washed all my big spatulas, or the what is the little flip thing that you use to bake cakes? I can't think of it right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So I tried to lift that off, and the sausage flipped on the counter. So you're looking at the sausage on the counter, and you're like, should I? I mean, I am an 80s baby, and I do take dirt better. Right? And I got a bunch of other allergies, but I don't have food allergies. Any type of leaf or tree, I'm allergic to. I can't talk to trees like that lady. Okay, they make me sniffle. Weeds, anything like that. So I don't know. This is an old apartment. You know, I've seen mice run across the counter. I'm like, no. I gotta let that sausage go. And I probably am being dramatic. I probably would have been fine if I ate the sausage, right? But one thing I am good at is figuring out ways to mentally be at peace. And I was like, if it gives me mental peace, I'm not gonna eat the sausage. So did not eat the sausage. Only had a hash brown, but then I had an apple. I had an apple that I cut up and ate for breakfast. But I just thought that was funny. So what would you do? Would you eat the sausage? You know, there's that meme going around. It's like how black people when they're cooking with a spoon or a spatula or something, they put it on a paper towel. They can't put it on the counter. It's just like, I don't know. Everybody has their things, you know. So I'm like, whatever makes you feel okay in the moment. That's my thing. I'm a little weird about stuff like that. I also just threw my CarMax in the trash because it fell on the ground with the cap off. I think it's hereditary. My dad's real big on germs too. But then I'm sure I do something else I can't think of right now where it's just like nobody would do that. That's a germ thing. So yeah, whatever. If I could see it where I think there could be dust and dirt and germs and it's open out like that, I'm like, I don't want to put it in my mouth where I could catch something. So that was it. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the day. Not that much funny stuff today. But yeah, we're gonna, of course, get to Diddy. Okay, so the freakiest man in America right now, Diddy. You know what I was thinking about? So the Jane Doe has been the person on this stand the past couple of days, and her testimony has been explosive. It's like Cassie, but this was towards the end, which is crazy. Diddy is so freaky. It's like the feds were like, listen, we're investigating you for your freak offs. And he was like, cool, I'm going to keep doing the freak offs. So he kept doing the freak offs. And so the person he was doing the freak offs with at this time was Jane Doe, who allegedly is 50 Cent's baby mother. So she was there when he figured out how he was going to apologize for the Cassie video coming out. So you would think he would have stopped by then. And so her testimony today is just a lot of phone calls and texts at the point where he kind of knew he was being watched. She was saying on the phone, I can't talk on the phone right now. Listen. And then he starts trying to like make everything seem like it was mutual. That's when he started, talking in a different way because he knew the feds were watching. But I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? We cannot kink shame Diddy. We can't kink shame people. If you're into kinky stuff, that's fine. What people do in the bedroom, this is what I've learned. Who people are on the outside and who they are in the bedroom, two totally different people. Those people aren't even related. Like those people, they barely know each other. Okay, you can talk to somebody. They can be completely professional, serious about their business. In the bedroom, you know, you don't know what's going on. They're getting hit with a rubber ducky. You know, playing with having a rubber ducky in the G spot, whatever. You know, whatever gets you off and gets you to that place of euphoria. Do you? Okay, we try not to judge. There's levels, and I guess that's the thing. Once you open the Pandora's box of that freaky, I don't think you can go back. So you got to be careful how far you go, because that's what people are saying with these girls. They were like, they started to want it, and it's just like, I think that's what happened to Diddy. Is like, I mean, once you start doing free calls with 2 or 3 guys and all types of substances and baby oil, you can't just have a regular romantic night doing missionary. That is boring as hell to you. You can't go back to that. But obviously the problem with him was, which is so weird, it's just like, I don't know why you can't be a billionaire and be nice. It's like 2 nice billionaires. It's like, it's Ben and Jerry. That's the only 2 nice billionaires that are out there. So he was just forcing these girls into his life, which is what he's obviously being charged for. And, you know, I think they would have done it willingly. All right? If he just would have been like, hey, this is what I'm into. They accepted the fact that he said he was polyamorous, which just means I'm rich and powerful. I can date whoever I want. And you can't date anybody else. If you date somebody else, I'm going to kidnap somebody and come to your house and blow up their car. But, yeah, I think they would have been into it. They probably would have done it with each other. if whatever he wanted. So basically, her most recent testimony. So that's where people are getting confused, because she was putting these freak offs together, which Cassie did as well, and then, you know, suggesting them and saying she was into it. Now, the most recent testimony from a couple of days ago, she was saying she didn't want to do it. She was like, I want us to have romantic nights. And she was like, I would do these freak offs to make him happy, and then I would see him with another girl. One of his girlfriends, this girl named Gina, and this other girl, in Young Miami. He was like, I see them on yachts, and, you know, he's taking them out to do stuff, and it's just regular romantic nights after I just been down and dirty doing freak offs. So I just feel like a cheap hoe. And so then, you know, she's starting to figure out, she's thinking this dude, that's the only part where I think people were a little annoyed with her. Is just like, you really thought like this was like your boyfriend and y'all were in love. Whatever. Like, I was reading the testimony today, and she's just like, we did have a romantic night and his heart was beating. I was just like, I guess his heart was probably beating because he had 3 different substances in his system. So you're trying hard not to judge. So I'm like, dang, if I'm thinking this, I don't know what this the jury is thinking. But a lot of people are saying they loved it, and I have to remind these people is these girls' orifices were sore. Okay, it's constantly showing them trying to take breaks. She says she constantly was trying to ask for just single romantic nights without doing anything. And then with her, she would call them movie nights. She was like, I just want to watch a movie with you. I just want to relax. And then he'd be like, nah, we about to take pills. We about to do this. Right? And, you know, his attitude towards the situation was, he was just getting angry and defensive. Like, you don't want to do it? Come on, man, let's do it. Jesus. So, you know, he would bully them into this. And also, like we said with her, he's paying her bills. So you feel even more obligated to do it with him and to have these freaky nights. Now, I mean, it's sex. She probably enjoyed it a little, hopefully. She said she would have to beg for them to use condoms. So the thing today was they had like a meeting before court. And so she said they went to Vegas, and then one of the escorts that they use was having sex with a girl in front of everybody. And she said a famous, iconic rapper and his girlfriend was there. So most people are saying this is Kanye and Bianca Sensory because she was in Vegas for her birthday. There's a story about them, Bianca Sensory and Kanye being in Vegas for their birthday around the January when she said she went to Vegas with Diddy. And so Diddy wanted Kanye's name mentioned, but the judge said no. There's no reason for his name to be mentioned. And he's just harassing them. So I guess that would make Kanye have to testify and bring them in. They're saying the prosecution is going to rest their case soon. And then the defense will have to start their case. So I guess they could have brought Kanye in if his name would have been mentioned, which that would have been amazing. You want to talk about content? Kanye on the testimony stand? What? Be drink champs times 2. All right, testimony champs. So yeah, so that happened today. Other funny thing, he called her his crack pipe. That was his nickname. And I think she said she called him back. So she got like voicemails and stuff. And they're saying, I guess she started to record him or somehow the feds got the phone calls. But he was paranoid. But there's a lot of like phone calls and text messages coming out between her and him. I can't remember if I talked about last episode where he was like, you got to get on your job. But I'm going to get on my job too. Right? But he really meant you get on your job and keep doing these freak offs. So she's trying to get out, trying to avoid him. But he keeps harassing her and trying to make her do these freak offs. And, TD Jakes said this, which is funny because, Diddy is linked to TD Jakes. But he's like, it's only a certain amount of time a girl is going to give you pleasure before she wants more. And she's seeing them with these different girls, and she's doing the stuff she really, really didn't want to do. But that kind of makes it look crazy because it's like she's doing this stuff because she likes him or she's doing this stuff because she's forced to. So the jury will have to decide that. She hated seeing one of his girlfriends, Gina, with a love bracelet. Like she told him to make her take the love bracelet, take the post down with her wearing that. She hated the fact that she would do these freak offs and then he would be so public with Young Miami because we thought he was with Young Miami. Like we didn't know about any other girl like that until he popped up with a baby. We still don't know where that baby came from. I don't know if it's Gina's baby or not. And Gina's on the run. They can't get her to get in the court and testify. I'm like, Gina gonna end up in jail. So Jane Doe is just like, it's back and forth. And they're constantly showing how much she was getting paid. Today, they show she was frustrated at the end of the 3 years. She's sick to her stomach thinking about it. And she was like, I need $450,000. So she's thinking what we were all thinking originally is like, you were doing all this for that low amount? Somebody called him a stingy billionaire. And so she's starting to realize, like, I did all these freak offs. I endured all this pain and stress and humiliation. And all I got for it is my rent paid. So she's like, I need to get paid off. But the defense is making it look like you just want a payday because I don't know, you're broken up and you didn't get what you wanted out of the relationship. So that's it. And there was like a manipulative phone call of him saying, I need you. I need a friend right now. And she's like, okay. And he's like, I need you. And when she would try to talk, he'd be like, no, I can't talk right now. Please call his assistant, Christina Quorum. Oh, yeah, I wonder if she's going to testify because that's going to be big because she knows everything. She was his assistant. And they got her phones. And they said she went dark. They don't know where she is. So that's it. It's just a lot of freak calls with Jane Doe, a lot of phone calls, but a lot of the stuff shows Diddy knew what he was doing. He knew what he was on. He just couldn't stop. Like I said, he knew he was investigated for doing freak offs, but kept doing freak offs. And she was there for the point. She was there when stuff was about to hit the fan. It's like the end of Casino. Okay, when it's all going down, she was there for all that, but he couldn't stop, dog. He had to freak off, and we all have our thing that we do to deal with the stress and when the pressure is mounting, but it's not. Hopefully, it's not super illegal where you're ruining people's lives. He said, I don't want you to feel like I ruined your life, too, in one of the texts. So she said a lot. She showed a lot, and a lot of her story is similar to Cassie's, which she said, and she said she was really triggered by Cassie's story. But with her, like they did with Cassie, they did show she did throw some punches, too. So the defense is getting little shots in there, but overall, to me, it shows that like he clearly was coercing and bribing these girls into living a very painful lifestyle. All right, that's it on Diddy. Okay, so the LA protests have been going on. What started was the mass ICE raids, and they're pulling people out of schools, churches, just inhumane behavior. Okay, so Gavin Newsom has been going back and forth with Trump. Trump said he should be arrested. Newsom was like, he's a stone cold liar. We talked about this, and you never said anything about me being arrested. And Trump sent in the National Guard, which costs $134 million, and then who's the mayor? The mayor was it Karen Bass? I think is her name. It's like, listen, we don't need all that. Yeah, Karen Bass. It's a 1 to 2 mile radius. Okay. Obviously, there's a few bad actors doing things, but this isn't like some type of huge protest, angry protest where a bunch of people are getting hit and buildings are catching on fire, and it's out of control. We didn't need the National Guard at all, and people are saying this is a strategy for Trump to just try to make the immigration issue, I guess, look bigger than it is, make the problem look worse than it is. And, I don't know if he's getting this point across or not. If people are saying, see, this is why immigration is a problem. It's crazy how serious they're taking the immigration. I mean, he ran on this, and obviously a lot of people feel this way, but like immigrants are not messing up the country. The reason you don't have any money is not because immigrants are taking your jobs. You don't have any money because billionaires won't pay people a living wage. That's why. And with inflation and things getting more expensive, people are still making what they made 20 years ago. Okay. And they're also just taking away all the jobs. All the jobs are just going to AI. I mean, everybody, the joke is recession indicator. It's just if you just use your common sense and just look around. I mean, Jeff Van Gundy is back coaching again. you know, um, so it's not even at the bottom. It's like from the bottom to like upper middle class to millionaires. It's like the only people that really got jobs out here are like multi-millionaires, the 1% that we're seeing, which are making you think, yeah, that could be you. Just be like them and work hard. And it's just like, no, that's a small percent of people that are making it that high. Trump just tweeted about farmers. No, yeah, they're taking away legal immigrants from their jobs, but he's making it look like it's illegal immigrants from farms, and it's just a slap in the face of Los Angeles, which is full of immigrants, and it's just crazy because the reason you guys are billionaires is because you don't pay immigrants. So it's like you hurting your own bottom line to make yourself look good. So all this is really Stephen Miller's idea, who's, I don't know, I guess you could say he's the new Steve Bannon. He's the man behind the madness, the guy who wrote Project 2025, Stephen Miller. Okay, he just got Terry Moran fired for speaking out against him, which I guess we'll talk about in a second, or maybe I'll intertwine it. But yeah, just splitting up families. This obsession with immigration and these mass ICE raids. And Governor Newsom said he didn't want the National Guard there. It wasn't that serious. They did declare a state of emergency now. They have a curfew now because I saw that a bunch of kids went and robbed the Apple store. I was like, they always rob the Apple store. Which, I don't know, that might just be karma for Apple store robbing Americans. But the first place kids go is to rob the Apple store. They rob the Apple store when there's not riots. I've literally seen somebody steal a phone in front of my face at the Apple store. Or you know how they rip the thing off the cord. And I was like, that's the one advantage Spotify has over Apple. It's like, if y'all had a actual phone store, then y'all would get robbed too. But Spotify doesn't have like an actual store where they're selling products that I know of. But yeah, they always go to rob the Apple store. So I'm like, is that really because of the protest, or that's just like, well, we were going to rob it anyway? It's just the protest just happened to happen on the same week where I decided to wear my Pushaisi and rob the Apple store. So yeah, man. So there's because as the resistance against Trump is coming, and there's going to be more raids all around the country, and more people are going to protest, and it just shows authoritarianship and trying to take away free speech, and you can't be defiant against this administration at all. And he's using military force on civilians. Okay, these are not people protesting with machine guns or whatever. I mean, it's LA. I mean, they're getting busy. They're resourceful, but they're not doing anything. It's not like they're throwing a couple people, but it's not to the point where you need the National Guard. And it's just a spectacle that Trump is creating to make it look like LA is crazy. And when you live in these big cities, you hear it's like, it's crazy there. It's not that crazy. Okay, I'm fine. All right. So yeah, so that's what's going on with that. And unfortunately, Terry Moran, now, is it Moran or Moran? All right, so Terry Moran, or Moran. I don't know how you say it. Remember, he interviewed Trump like a month ago, and his facial expressions went viral because he couldn't believe how dumb Trump was. When he asked Trump about the Declaration of Independence, and he was like, it means a lot to me. It means exactly what it says, independence. And it was just like the most third grade answer from the President of the United States. And then that viral video of Trump being like, he had MS-13 on his hands. And he's like, he didn't have the words written on his hands. That was Photoshop Trump. He's like, no, Terry, he had MS-13 on his knuckles. And so that went viral. So I say that to say Trump already had some tension with Terry. And vice versa, probably. Okay? So then Terry basically called out Stephen Miller, called out Trump, saying this is hateful. These guys are world-class haters. How could you do this? So then Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, called for ABC to look into it, I guess. Let me see. I was trying to look for seeing if the quote popped up. I had it, but then my computer lost it. All right. So my computer lost it. All right. So anyway, she called for ABC to look into it. So ABC suspended him and then eventually fired him. So this is a guy who just said he's been around for 28 years working in the business, who I don't understand why he got fired for that or suspended for that. I got to see the reason. But he gave his opinion. I think it was on his private, or not private, but like personal X account. It's not like he wrote this in an article, but he knows more than we know, than the average person knows. This is an informed, trained journalist that's been around for a long time, who interviewed the president, was in the Oval Office with the president. So it's probably just infuriated by what goes on. I don't know where he's based out of. Is ABC News should be in New York, right? New York. I was just wondering if he lived in LA. But yeah, so anyway, he saw what was going on. He was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. He spoke out and he got fired. So he did an announcement today. He's going to be on Substack. And it just goes to show that all the corporations are compromised. It says CBS is compromised. Because the thing is, Trump can take away these people's funding and way to make a living, but it's just like, you're in the news. Like, you know, what's the point of being news if you're not going to tell the truth about what the president's doing and keeping the people informed? I mean, that goes back to the beginning of journalism and time. So shout out to Terry. Terry's a G. He's embarrassed Trump multiple times. They hate his ass. They're probably happy he got fired. But that's what's so hard about dealing with Trump. Like, he really goes after you. You know, he's the first president that, you know, really tries to get people fired for doing their job. It's not like a phone call or a disagreement or tries to clear things up. It's just like, get that man out of here. And he's been seen saying, I don't want to talk to ABC News and who was it? It was ABC. It was AP News, I think, that he tried to get out of the press rooms or whatever with everybody interviewing the president. So, you know, just try to keep the layman, the average person involved with my pod and myself. That's why I do like doing the podcast, because it makes me research and look at these things a little bit. So yeah, it's just it's crazy times, man. Our news stations are compromised, news corporations are compromised, and you know, a guy that's been doing this job for a very long time just got fired. And it just goes back to what I was saying about, you know, even people at the top of their field are losing their jobs, and he's not losing his job He didn't lose his job because of an immigrant. He just lost his job because the president is a narcissist, pretty much. With the LA protests, the other thing was online they were talking about should black people care? Yes! This is your fellow man. If he's coming after brown people, who do you think is going to come after next? All right. They came after us with DEI. That was the corporate way. And if he's finding a loophole to get rid of brown people, and like people are saying, yeah, they're going after different types of immigrants, but this is mainly the main focus has been on the Latino community. Let's keep it real. And like they said, if you don't care about your immigrant neighbor, I don't want to see you eating any type of immigrant food. Okay, I don't want to see you hiring any type of immigrant housekeepers, cleaners, my laundromat. You better not get your laundry clean or delivered, because immigrants aren't your problem, right? Good luck. Okay. So this is just a huge injustice, and injustice, period. Even if it's just now brown and black, when you see injustice, it could happen to you. Okay, so if you don't do anything about it now, it can happen to you. And yes, a large amount of Latinos voted for Trump. And they didn't think it could happen to him, so it happened to him. So it's like if we don't stop or speak out against this, they could think they could do anything they want, and then they'll look up some old law and find some type of thing and start arresting black people. All right, or somebody was saying they're just profiling Latinos or brown people. They could start finding a way to profile black people, some type of stop and frisk or something. So black people should definitely care. Should definitely speak out and use your voice, and help out any way you can, especially if you're there. You be the immigrant for once. You bring them water and fruit for once. Also, if you're a lawyer, you have services, or you have lawyers in your family, this is a time where you step up. You got to stick. It's not black, brown, yellow, white, purple. It's which we've been saying. It's the lower class versus the filthy rich. That's all this is. That's the times we're in. It's poor, lower, middle. Even if you make $1 million a year, they still don't give a fuck about you. Okay, it's the filthy rich versus everybody else at this time. So we should care. For sure, we should care. Okay, so I just want to shout out the BET Awards, man. Kevin Hart did a great job hosting, setting the tone. I watched the clips of just him and Kasana and Drewski. They're just destroying. Like, it's better than any type of comedy out right now. Those three together. So I think and the stars came. Shout out to the big stars coming. Kerry Washington came. Kendrick Lamar came and accepted his award. SZA was there. Who else was there? But it was just good. Everybody's saying that it was overall that they did a great job. The looks, the outfits. Obviously there was a little tea and drama that came from it. But overall, I think people enjoyed it, and I think the big winners were Kasana, Drewski, and Kevin Hart. They got the most out of it, I would say, and came out the most talked about from that event. I really enjoyed this sketch with Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold. We gotta give them some type of lifetime award, man. That was just going off the top of the dome. They were hilarious. But yeah, Kevin Hart just killed it. Every sketch I thought was funny. His monologue at the beginning, the Kirk Franklin part, he just murdered. That's a lot of pressure. That's a hard gig, man. As a stand-up, I was just like, a room full of talented, rich black people, not easy. And he killed it. So, I mean, I never got the Kevin Hart's not funny stuff. Like, he's fun. He's one of those people that just has it all. It's just like, he could be funny in interviews. He could be funny in sketch, stand-up, acting. Just truly, truly gifted. So yeah, shout out to the BET Awards as cable TV and award shows is dying. But I think BET Awards always got like the highest ratings and the most watched. And I mean, obviously the most talented people are a part of it, the blacks. So sports real quick. The Pacers won last night. What? The Pacers are up 2-1, won at Oklahoma City. The first thing I thought was, damn, Paul Pierce called that. He said the Pacers aren't anything to play with, and he was right. Halliburton is on a legendary run. And he can talk all the trash he wants, man. He backed it up. He just said the guys talking about basketball know nothing about basketball. And whether he's right or wrong, y'all did say he was the most overrated, and y'all were wrong about that. Yeah, he stepped up. Shit, I forgot what he had. He had like 22 points and like 11 assists or something like that. Hit some big shots down the stretch. They said the difference. Well, I watched the game. The difference in the game was the fourth quarter. It was kind of back and forth until that, and the Pacers started to pull away. Benedict, Mathurin with his 25 points. And Chet and Shai played good, but wasn't great. And the Pacers just look good. They got a veteran coach who's just giving everything to basketball to the point where he's just lost all his hair and probably all he thinks about is basketball at this point. But the curly hair faded assassin, man, strikes again. And as beta as he looks on his TikToks, he's a killer on the court. So yeah, we got a series, and they might steal it from Shai. He's gotten everything this year. He's had a great year, but he's gonna have a horrible summer if he don't get it together. And I thought about what Shaq said, where they kind of brushed off that first loss, and Shaq was like, no, it makes it different. Every game counts. It's the finals. And it just seems like the Pacers have more of a sense of urgency, and they cared more. And maybe OKC being so talented is the problem. Maybe they're too talented, and they're not playing hard enough, and they don't care. And that's what it looks like. It looks like the underdogs have more of a chip on their shoulder, and they're stepping up. You got guys coming off the bench with 25 points, and they're just like, nobody thinks we could do this. We can do this. We want to show the world. And OKC seems like they didn't recognize that, and they didn't think about that. And so it seems like the Pacers have more fire. If you just look at Halliburton, the guy is fiery. He's just every point, whether on the bench or on the court, he's screaming. And they don't want to lose in front of Caitlin Clark. It's like you can't. The biggest star. We don't want Caitlin Clark to have to carry the Indiana legacy on her own. So shout out to Indiana. They're having a run right now. What else was I going to say about that? I guess that was it. Yeah, it just seems like Indiana is more fiery, and you can lose, man. It's the NBA. Okay, everybody here is a professional basketball player. So OKC was able to bounce back from getting blown out by the Timberwolves. But this game, I think, shifted the whole series. It shows like Indiana is really here. And, because after they OKC won the second game, it was just like, oh, okay. they just weren't ready, and they're probably going to take the rest of this series. But then after they lost last night, it's like, whoa, maybe Indiana is here. This is a series now. Unless, the commissioner, what's the commissioner's name? I can't think of it right now. Told him to make it interesting. But if not, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely fun to watch. So the next game is on Friday. And now we were talking about billionaires and people losing their jobs. James Dolan fired Tom Thibodeau. I called him Tim last week. And now they can't find a coach. So it's like Charles Barkley just laid into him. Everybody they're trying to get to come talk doesn't even want to take a conversation with them. I don't know if they're getting blackballed by coaches. Billy Donovan said no. Jason Kidd said no. Ime Udoka said no. Chris Finch said no. Quinn Snyder said no. And nobody understood why. We thought you had a plan in place. Okay, we thought you knew what you were doing. Okay, and they're trying to ask people with jobs already and good situations to come. It just looks ridiculous. And Tom Thibodeau took out an ad to say thank you. I feel like he saw the fact that they were getting rejected and he wanted to put the dagger in. Like, yeah, look how much they love me. You look dumb right now. You look so dumb right now. So as soon as I was thinking James Dolan wants to win and has things together, and now he's just making a fool of himself again. Okay? And just becoming more unliked again. So I don't know what happened between him and Tom Thibodeau, but it's just like, what do you say? Yeah, been here 3 or 4 years and took him to the Eastern Conference Finals. And now we don't have a coach, and it's all just broken up because of some billionaire again whose ego is ruining everybody else's situation. All right, we did it. So thanks for listening to the Gossip Intellectual, man. Keep celebrating your life, man. Be thankful. Have fun. Enjoy this summer. And I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.